The solution to a lot of your money problems is premium. Hello and welcome to the Durham Talents channel. My name is Jesse Durham. For today's installment in our EncycloMedia series, we are going to evaluate and discuss premium. Insurance premiums for properly structured whole life policies with mutual companies that pay dividends for the purpose of implementing the infinite banking concept as described in R. Nelson Nash's book, Becoming Your Own Banker. So a whole life insurance policy, that type of a contract, is a unilateral contract. So all of the obligations are on the insurance company to perform. What you have as an obligation as the owner of such a policy, the one that you have, is to pay the premiums that you have agreed to pay. Again, for those that are implementing the infinite banking concept, you're going to actively choose a premium that is appropriate for your plans, your directives, your initiatives, your goals, what it is that you want to do. So you are picking a premium that you are choosing to pay, and there can be flexibility in that premium with a properly structured policy, but your obligation is the premium that you have chosen to pay on an ongoing basis for that whole life policy. So it is the premium that you pay that is buying you that good or service, in this case, a death benefit. So when you are paying premium into a whole life insurance policy, the premium is what is buying you that guaranteed death benefit. And then again, with a properly structured policy, that is going to be buying you a cash value that you can leverage for the purposes of private finance in your life. And then, of course, that premium can also be providing terminal illness rider, chronic illness rider, and other things that are perhaps attached to that chassis of the whole life insurance policy itself. But that is your one obligation, to pay the premium, and then it provides all of the terms of your particular whole life insurance contract. Now, it's very common for premiums to be able to be paid on a monthly, a quarterly, a semi-annual, or an annual basis. And with good companies, you can even change. For instance, in our past history, close to a decade of practicing this concept of infinite banking, we've had some policies that we've paid monthly, some that we've paid semi-annual, some that we've paid annual, and we've also made changes on policies. Perhaps we paid for a time on a monthly basis, and when we got to the point that we would like to make premium payments only once a year or twice a year, then we just made that change and we're able to do that. It's a provision in the contract to be able to change the mode of your premiums. So monthly, quarterly, semi-annually, or annually, very common. Now again, the total premium that you pay for your contract could be split between a portion of your total premium going towards the base of the policy, a portion going towards riders such as your paid up additions rider and other riders. You may have a term rider attached, and there may be others. So again, your premium total could be portioned out to cover these different things that, again, for this policy should be properly structured for your intended purposes, both now and into the future, of course. So the premium will be paying for all of the obligations on the insurance company. Now, while I would like to again reiterate that the money that is paid for a whole life insurance policy, or any policy, it is premium, but often enough in the infinite banking space, you will hear and see premium dollars, and this is just an analogy, equated to deposits, because we're talking about the infinite banking concept. For those that are implementing privatized banking, the infinite banking concept, we can view the premiums that we're paying as capital, as deposits to this private entity, of course, that we are building capital in. We are amassing, we are warehousing our capital in this private asset, in this whole life policy that we own. And the word and the phrase deposits will often be used. It is not a deposit. You are procuring with premium dollars a good or a service. Like anything else, you're making that exchange. But I do understand and I appreciate, and when I was first exposed to the infinite banking concept, was exposed to the idea of making deposits, changing your cash flows, redirecting inefficient dollars or lazy dollars to be premiums, but as deposits in this private banking system. So I want you to be familiar with that. I want you to understand that they are premium dollars. This is whole life insurance. But the idea and the thinking behind deposits, it may be helpful, of course, for you to visualize and imagine what it would be like to capitalize your own private banking entity. And we're used to deposits as a phrase. And along that line of thinking of deposits, you could easily begin to spread your thinking, widen your gaze by considering, have you ever made too many deposits into any accounts that you have? No, me either. It's always great to be well capitalized, to have access to capital. So again, that goes back to the amount of premium that one would possibly choose. It needs to be appropriate for your goals now in the short term and long range. Remember, R. Nelson Nash's number one principle is to think long range. So it's probably going to be a significant amount of premium. When I talk to folks about premium, I say the premium that you choose should be a reasonable and a logical amount of premium respective, again, to your finances, your goals, your ambitions, what it is that you are wanting to do or that you're already doing. It should be reasonable and logical. Also, though, and I'm using Nash's language here, if you're noticing this, it should be an ambitious number. It should be an imaginative number. So it should have those characteristics, I believe, when you are picking an appropriate amount of premium for yourself. Nash, in his book, does also say that the premiums that you pay over your lifetime as you build out a system of policies should eventually equal your income. So you have all of your cash flows go through a commercial bank. The idea is that systematically, organically, naturally, there will just be a progression as you gain and control and implement the banking function in your life. You will get to a point where, if you choose to, you could be having all of your income go through your own privatized banking system. So a good way, if you are still vetting this idea of becoming your own banker, to consider what might be an appropriate amount of premium for you. One logical way to look at choosing a dollar amount is just to simply ask, what percentage of my cash flows or what percentage of my income would I like to be going into this private banking system? And then as you grow and scale a system over the course of time, you can ratchet that number up, of course, systematically, progressively, ratchet that percentage of your income or of your cash flows that is capitalizing in your policies. So a couple of points of encouragement on the topic of premium is that, number one, you should look at the dollars that you pay into a policy or policies. The premiums that you pay, you need to look at those premiums as capital. You are capitalizing a private banking system. And then a quote from Mr. James Nethery. I've often heard, and I love it. It's very helpful, very helpful. James Nethery say that premium is the solution. If you have some financial issue right now, or you anticipate one in the future, or you could foresee the need of capital into the future, of course, it's only going to go up, our need of capital. Well, then premium then becomes the solution, doesn't it? The more premium that we can wrap our minds around paying, again, reasonably, logically, as it makes sense for every individual case, but the more premium we can wrap our minds around to pay into this private banking system is just going to make us better capitalized. I hope that this information on premiums into properly structured whole life policies with mutual companies that pay dividends for the purpose of implementing the infinite banking concept has been helpful. If you would like to dive in on any of our other series, I would encourage you to check out our website, YouTube channel. If you'd like to ask me questions directly and talk about what it could look like for you to implement the infinite banking concept into your household or your business or your investing, then don't hesitate to reach out. You can find me at durhamtalents.com. This has been a great pleasure for me. I hope you have a great day. Take care. And we're going to get this good. Hello and welcome to the Durham channel. Yeah, boy.